Order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, justice for all. Morning, everybody. Tracy's sitting in traffic, so we'll have approval of the last minutes.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The agenda. Any additions, Al?
No.
Commissioner Wilson. Dr. Sally. We got a request from Vision West Natural Resource. We'll add. Entertain a motion to.
I'll move to approve with addition.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve with the additions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And they said there was no public comments this morning. Okay, so then we will start with Ben Murphy, huh?
All right. Hello, gentlemen. I guess today I'm here because I had filed for the tax abatement for the farmstead tax abatement. I missed the deadline for it. I hate to say this is the earliest I've gotten my taxes done in 6 or 7 years, and I missed the cutoff time quite often, and this time I teeter back and forth whether my income is at the 66% threshold or not. And I don't know if it's good to say either last year I had a really good in agriculture year or a really bad year in everything else. But I did meet the requirement for the tax abatement, and I'm here to, because I missed the cutoff, they said I had to come in and present it to the commission.
Any comments, Hallie?
I don't have any comments. Holly, do you have some comments you want to?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Ben did turn in his information here at the end of June for 2025 qualifying for the farm exemption. The state does allow 2 years, so 2024 he could have used or 2025 for last year. And he also applied for the 2026 year too. I can't make those decisions. I have to follow state guidelines and Century Code. So that says that those credits and information have to be turned in to me by April 1st of that year. So for 2025, he should have had that information to me by April 1st of 2025. They do have 2 years to go back in abatement, so that would be the board's decision to approve that or not. And then 2026, this year, the board decided to not allow any late exemptions. That deadline didn't change, April 1st.
Yeah, we've had one come in to us already, I know, and then they said no because he missed the deadline.
I understand. I figured I had nothing to lose by trying, and I can't get taxes done by April 1st. My tax man just can't have them prepared by that point. I have even received a lot of the information due to, I have LLCs in different states, and just getting all the information back because their tax man does it, then it gets sent to us. Like I said, I figured I had nothing to lose by trying. If it's a no, I'm in the same spot I am right now. If it's a yes, then I get the credit.
It's just be hard for us to back up and go back and tell the other guy.
Understand?
Yeah.
We set a precedence. But thanks for coming.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Ben.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Engineers. Carl.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Carl.
I'll try and be quick today. Your agenda you have there?
Hey, Craig, I think we need to move to deny Ben's request.
Oh,
We have an
okay.
application then. So I'll move to deny the request for his abatement.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to deny the abatement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Okay. On the design side, primarily right now, we're working through the 16th Street project. There's just a few minor grading adjustments that we're making as part of landowner negotiations on the project. Hopefully we keep rolling them through as we get a little closer to bid ready for that project. Otherwise, most of our efforts right now are being focused on the 98th Avenue project and the 79th Avenue project, which have been identified for the 27 budget. Miscellaneous work taking place on some of the other jobs as well. Construction projects, the 12th Street project work has commenced this week. Crew is currently stripping topsoil and will begin the earthwork and pipe installations next week. There is no pay estimate right now. First one will be processed for the August 5th meeting. So far we have our weekly meetings on Tuesday mornings, and yesterday's went well, and I think so far it's a little slow going with topsoil, but they're moving. The cultural resource monitor is out there today as well. I stopped by this morning, so they're where we have an obligation to the Corps to monitor through that area. They're taking care of that work today, so that should be done and out of the way for the rest of the project, and I don't anticipate any issues there. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Carl. Aaron?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I also have a couple brief updates here. For our outstanding projects on 119th, CSI still hasn't accepted the final quantities. They haven't disputed anything either, but I know they're slammed on the interstate that we're working on them with too. So it's probably just taking the back burner. It's not a priority, but once they sign off, then we'll issue that final request and close out the project. For 99th, Superintendent Carey and I were working with the landowner just to try to make sure that he's completely happy with everything. I think there's another easement on a different project I think Jeremy's working on, and I think we got it figured out now, Mike? Yeah. And so Martin's got one little thing to go out there and do, but once that's done, we still have retainage on him. So get that finished, and then we can release the retainage and final out that project. Any questions on either of those two? Okay. Probably well, one of the two biggest things we got going on now is the Manning Water Project. So JK Excavating, they returned work on Monday here, and they're making good progress. Haven't had complaints really, and everything's, knock on wood, going smoothly. They haven't found any unknown utilities that have shut anybody down, which is always kind of a surprise out there, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. We had a construction meeting yesterday. There was members from Bartlett West, the Commission, Dunn County Road Department, and Manning Waterworks. And we went and discussed any items of concern. We're going to have those every Tuesday now at 11:30 in case anybody is interested. We do have a pay request for JK Excavating in the amount of $207,405.00, and we recommend payment.
Make a motion to pay request number 2 to JK Excavating for the amount of $207,405.
I'll second.
And moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? If not, we'll have roll call.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Pelton. I do have the pay request here that we can get signed off on as well. Our other big thing here is after the last commission meeting we had, I had that final easement reviewed. It is acceptable. The project actually will be advertised today and will be opened. The bid opening for 7th will be at the next commission meeting. It's going to be conducted at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I cleared that with Sally yesterday, so I think we're all signs point to go. I did put a June 30th or 27 completion date on that, if that's acceptable for everyone. Okay. The other 7th project that we have, we're still chipping away at the right of way on that too. We have, again, if you recall, there's a landowner that has some legal process that he's trying to get through before he signs, so we're kind of on hold on that one a little bit. Third Street, we'll start refocusing our attention on that since that's intent to be constructed in 2027. And then our last one here for our 2026 projects, we still have the non-responsive landowners out there. We do have an alternative design, but quite honestly, we've been focusing on these other issues too, but we're going to have to revisit that here with Mr. Carey too, to see which way we want to proceed. So, and that is all that I have for you today, other than the pay requests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll turn the meeting back over to Chairman Belzo.
Thank you. Thanks for filling in till I got here. Morning.
Good morning. At the last meeting, y'all requested for 82nd North for us to provide a updated cost to redesign that at 35 mile an hour design speed instead of 55. This letter outlines that at $55,833. And that would change plan layout, cross sections, pipe sizing, the new easements, because that would change. There's some wetlands that would change as well, and which would cause us to have to resubmit federal permitting. But we think that would take 5 to 6 weeks. And then there would be the submittal on the permitting, which could be up to 90 days. It's been much less than that on this project, but just as a cursory. So I wanted to present that today. That's all I have for my update. So if you have questions, I'm open to that.
Anticipating from 55 to a 35, just a rough cost savings. Do you have any idea?
We looked at it a little bit, but I can't tell that. It's going to reduce substantially the amount of dirt we have to move, is what we're seeing in there. We don't have to, it's severe up and down in that section of anybody who's driven on that lately. And we think we can leave a little bit steeper, shorter sight distance, all of that. So that'll cut, I'm hoping, in half, but that's a very, very rough. So I wouldn't want to know a little more than that until I got into it, but that's what we looked at.
What was the engineer's estimate before for that 5 miles at 55 mile an hour?
We went back and looked at that based on a contractor giving us a different price for moving dirt, and it was about $7.2 million.
Yeah, on their preliminary estimate, they had $4.50 a cubic yard for the excavation, and we talked to a contractor, and he said with that kind of yards, it would be probably in that 2.5 range or maybe even less. So that's where it's still at 7, but I think if you design this 35, I think we can cut some more of that off, and I think the road needs to get done, but if we could, that first $11 million sticker for 5 miles was kind of a sticker shock, but
Right.
if we can cut that down, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a motion to go ahead with this?
Also move to go ahead with the 82nd project.
A second.
It's been a motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Heiser, to go ahead with the redesign for the 82nd project. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Okay. And Jeremy, right? Or is- I didn't see him back there. I,
I got caught in traffic, so I just got here,
so
but,
did I.
okay.
I was coming from that direction too.
Got a couple pay estimates to present, starting with the 10th Street, 113th Avenue, and 7th Street. Good news, it's the final pay estimate, it's number 14. The amount is $55,947.40, which we would recommend payment, which once again would be the last one for the project. It was finalized last week with, or excuse me, yesterday with the county, accepted it, so this would be the final pay estimate.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay estimate number 14 to Bronco Brothers for $55,947.40.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Heiser, seconded by Commissioner Pelton to pay Barranco Brothers pay estimate number 14. Is there any further discussion? We'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, motion carries.
The follow-up project to that is the paving phase. Our indications from CSI is they may start graveling towards the end of August. Paving probably is going to be in the first part of September is what they're telling us now anyway. Couple of other projects, Spring Creek Box Culvert project and Spring Creek Road project, Box Culvert project. That's looking at sometime later this year. We don't have a time frame on those projects. The other pass we have is for Trotter Construction. It's the first one on the 11th Street project. The amount is $98,993.78, which we would recommend payment to Trotter Construction for that project.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay estimate number 1 to Trotter Construction for $98,993.78.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, seconded by Commissioner Olson to pay Trotter Construction pay estimate number 1 on the 11th Street Southwest project. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, motion carries.
The last update I have for you is on 114th Avenue. That bid opening is today at 10 o'clock. So other than that, just kind of a brief report. Any questions?
Thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, thank you.
See you later. Okay, Chris, McKenzie Electric.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here today. McKenzie Electric seeks approval for a permit that was submitted. It's for 4 road crossings as part of our Highway 200 substation distribution circuits. 3 overhead road crossings. First one at 113th near 200, 110th near 3rd, and 3rd near 110th, and then 1 underground crossing on 111th near 3rd. The exhibits and everything's been included in the packet, and here to answer any questions.
So they're overhead crossings.
The first 3 are, and we're maintaining the additional overhead clearances. I think it's the 110th and 3rd is the lowest clearance, and it's still just at 26 feet.
Road department got any issues with it? No. I'll move to approve the permit as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Pelton to approve the McKenzie Electric overhead road crossings as presented.
I do got one thing. You guys are working up on the 10th Street up there too?
Yes,
And we've got some damage in the ditches. If you could take care of that when you're done.
absolutely.
Okay. So without any further discussion, all in favor of the motion to approve the road crossing permits, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Mike.
Good morning.
Morning.
First of all, I'll start out, Dakota has brought, a couple of our new employees in, and they'll introduce themselves. We've got two new employees. Just last week.
Made a switch, came over to the county. I like it so far. Yeah, it's kind of learning experience, kind of doing something different. Absolutely.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Trevor Armstrong, was born and raised in Tennessee. Just 3 weeks out of the Army, was in there for about 6 years as an infantryman. Being an asset to the county.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Yep. Thanks, Dakota.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, the only utility permit was the one with
Oh.
McKinsey. We have the trucks that are continuing to haul gravel out of the gun wall pit. We're hauling that over to 16th Street. We're fixing that with the Jaeger gravel that we had problems with. So we're just about done with that, and we did purchase some gravel from Schwartz to do that because we didn't have any that was sandy enough to mix together. So we're just about wrapping that up. We got lease trucks that are hauling out of the DD pit down by Richardson. And they're currently on 12th Street right now off of Highway 8. Got quite a bit of roads to do over there yet. That'll be the rest of the year over there. It seems to be turning out really well. Mixing with the reservation gravel that's on there and the DD gravel seems to turn out really good. The rain and everything, it holds up good. So that's our main concern, and we don't have washboarding. So Meg Crew is west of Manning on 12th Street, as my wife would attest. She had to drive through it, so with my pickup. She didn't take hers. And they'll be moving this way here, and they're probably going to be shutting down probably out that way at the end of tomorrow. Had a request up on the Harris Road. They're getting dusted out really bad up there. So I know it's a little bit of I guess a waste, but in one way it is, and one way it's not. So I'm going to send them up there for Monday, and they're just going to do a 2-mile stretch for Wiley Bice and Gene Harris and all them through there. We should be able to cover all them. Should take them a day, and that should be about it. Other than that, that's it. That's all I have.
Any questions for Mike? Well, thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
budget, yeah.
Mike, can you put the budgets on the screen?
These are the projects.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I got 228.
You got 228.
Oh, you do? I'm sorry.
They're the same.
I got 227.
I'm good. I got 27 and 28.
You got everybody good?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't change anything with the salaries. Everything we should be good with that. The only thing that I changed was the equipment rental. I went up 50,000. On account of the rentals, everything's going up here and there, and they're not real thrilled about renting tractors out. So they went up a little bit. So but they're desperately needed because we use them for mowing, mag. So I went up a little bit on that. The let me see here. The road materials I went up on. Crushing, probably going to be, is like I said, I probably will be buying a little bit extra gravel here and there. Do you have the right one, Tracy?
Yeah, okay, I didn't realize. No, I didn't.
Okay, should be right. I got the same ones here, so. On the road materials, as I said, I went up a little bit, from 2.5 million to 2.8. Nothing really, really big, but we're gonna need extra gravel. The other thing I went up on from 2 million to 3 million was the road stabilization. Means we're gonna be moving a little bit over to the base bind a little bit more. I believe we're gonna probably be doing a few more roads. Beings, we're not gonna have the slime and everything. I think there's gonna be a few more roads that probably over in the Halliday area, I think they're gonna be more up for stabilization over there. And that was kind of the big hiccup over there. They didn't want any stabilization down over there because of the slime, so. So I did go up on that. And then on the contract work, the lease trucks, I went up from 500,000 to 600,000. Just due to the point with the DD gravel. I mean, we're not going to get all that hauled this year. There's no way. And we've got a lot of roads over there to haul that DD gravel onto and mix, so. And then the other thing I went up on was the parts. As you know, parts are going up. So I went up from 5 to 750 on that, just so we can hold ourselves above water. But the good news is that, as you see on the road projects, I went from, there was quite a few of them that were deemed for 2027. And we cut quite a few of them from 2027 to 2028. So I cut that in order to, I kind of want to go a little bit more towards maintenance. I think the few years we've been kind of lacking on maintenance and really going full bore on road projects. So I cut those. We should be able to, I mean, everything that was with the engineers, everything that was ready, and I made that clear to them that, we're pretty much going to go with projects that are ready to go. If there isn't projects that are ready to go in 27 and we have projects that were deemed for 2028 that are ready to go, we're gonna switch so that we can keep rolling. So that's about all I have. Is there any questions?
I think you're on the right track with that base bind because, cost of gravel, and if we can save it, the way that binds and locks that gravel in, I think you're gonna find out you're gonna get a lot more years life out of that road by putting that on and not letting it blow away or fly in the ditch. So the product is really working well.
And I drove most of those this morning, just so that I could give you guys a report on it, and they're all holding really well. Usually by this time of the year, we're already thinking about having to go back over them again because they're starting to develop holes and stuff. There's no holes in them, so that's kind of why I went up on the stabilization part, because I figure we're probably gonna be doing a little bit more roads, but we're gonna save money in the long run, because we're not gonna have to run back over them 2 and 3 times like we have been doing.
And we can stretch our re-graveling out
Yes,
6, 7 years.
yes. And I know Tracy, I drove your road, I apologize, your road over there has gotten a few holes in it, but I've kind of pulled the blades.
Yeah.
It's
Too
just
dry.
too dry,
Yeah.
so, but I did drive it.
It's a little,
It's,
there's a lot of trucks going
Yeah.
up and down.
yeah,
Once you get past where the trucks go, the rest of it's
okay.
really nice.
As soon as we can, I'll get over there and we'll get it shaped, and it's out of shape quite a bit, and we'll get it fixed up. And
Right.
so that's
Thank
all
you,
I
Mike.
have. You
Yeah,
bet.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bid opening is at. Are you all right to start now? Let's keep moving.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Before I start my budget, I just wanted to give an update on our class and comp study. I did get an update from Matt, and they are still lacking a few responses from a couple of counties. I did speak to Commissioner Dolezal yesterday, though, about providing them information that we have access to through the Association of Counties. And if they don't get a response from, I believe it was Mercer, Billings, Ward, and Morton. They also haven't received any information from a couple of the cities, and no private sector companies have responded. They are going to request it again. It's unlikely that they'll get anything, but they're going to keep trying. Any questions about that?
Well, just moving forward.
Moving
Yeah.
forward. Okay, so I will start with my HR budget. Pretty much everything is the same there, with the exception of dues, memberships, and subscriptions. That line item is used for things like Zoom, cloud badging, which is the software we use for creating our employee badges. Those things have not gone up in price, but there have been additional subscriptions that were needed, so I did raise that slightly. And office supplies, now that we have our branding in place, some things like envelopes and letterheads and that kind of thing now come out of that line item, which is why you see it's a little bit over. I didn't budget for that last year, coming into this year. Any questions on that one?
Questions? All right.
Okay, moving on to risk management. If I could call your attention to line item 6492, that is where we placed the cost of our defensive driving course. So that line item is over budget. I did come to the board prior to doing that, though, and got permission to move forward with that. We do that every second year, so in 2027, I'll be asking for a larger line item for 28 to compensate for that. Any questions on that one?
And that course was through the Safety Council.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Different than what we've had before.
Yep, it was through the North Dakota Safety Council, so it was only one day. And we did, I would say 90% of our employees were able to participate on that day. Some people weren't here for various reasons, and so they did do the online version, which is free. But I think it went over very well. I didn't get anything but positive feedback from employees. They appreciated it. That was just one quick 4 hours in the morning or the afternoon, and they were done.
Good. All right.
All right, last one is the health officer budget. And as I was looking at my printout this morning, I noticed a typo on mine. I don't know if the typo is on yours. Line item 6490. I didn't change it. I'm not changing my request from last year. It's still the same, but I have on mine as $20 instead of $200.
Yeah.
So if I can make that correction, Sally?
I will amend that, Bessie.
Thank you. And then otherwise, it's the same as last year. Any questions?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That one out of the way. And special events permits, let's take care of that. 9:30. Oh, what was that?
All right, so we have, here, maybe three, let me take a look here. Looks like we have 3 special events permits. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 special event permits, sorry, they were all together. They're all for the buckskin. We have one on September 8th and 9th for the bucking horse sale at the rodeo grounds. We have one August 1st at the rodeo grounds for a wedding. One for September 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the rodeo grounds for the Labor Day rodeo. Then we have one for July 25th. Looks like a wedding at the rodeo grounds. And then we have one more. That would be July 25th and 26th at the Kildare Rodeo Grounds, and it just describes as a party. So we have those special events permits.
Madam Chairman, I'd move to approve the special event permits.
A motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Olson to approve the 6 special events permits for the buckskin for events at the rodeo grounds. Is that right? Yes. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And so there was an addition of Vision West Indy. Craig?
Okay, I had a call from Vision West is having a meeting October 27th at the High Plains. It's their natural resource energy, and they're asking for 50% of the meal cost, which they figure is around $1,200. And that's our half. They're splitting it, going to the city of Kildare for the other half.
Is that the natural resource?
Yes.
Yeah, which is a very good meeting,
And that's October 27th. at the-
High Plains.
It's natural resource energy. So I'd move that we go ahead and pay the $1,200 or whatever, so that we cover half of the meal and lunch.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Heiser to cover the cost of 1/2 of the meal for the Vision West Indy Natural Resources meeting. Any further discussion? Roll call vote since we're spinning.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton? Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Craig. Under unfinished business, we had left on there the weed control building addition, and we were going to get some more information.
Yeah, I haven't completed, I met somebody over there and I just haven't got it put together yet, so
Yeah.
hopefully by the next meeting we can have something put together.
Okay. We'll just leave that as unfinished business then. Okay, do you want to do
Sure.
the financials?
Alrighty, so for June, big balances, not much changes. We're ending the month, the month again at $103,104,027. Our money market and DDM account are both doing very well, still as far as the interest. CD interest has gone down a little bit, so we've kind of moved some of those CDs as they mature into the money market and DDM account because the interest is about the same. So that keeps the money fluid for us to use should we need it. And then as far as GPT dollars, May and June were a little bit more productive. May, we had 3.5 million. June, we had almost 3.7. So I'm kind of expecting July, then maybe a dip in August, and then back up in September, kind of the way that all of that's been going. But we are right where we need to be. We're at 50% of our estimated revenue of 32 million. So we're pretty much exactly half right now. So we're kind of moving along. I think depending on what's going on, we might go a little bit over at the end of the year. So that's good for our GPT dollars. Does anybody have any questions?
Any updates on federal mineral?
I did. So I have been talking with them, and I finally got information from the state auditor, and it looks like we will be getting a small check in September and then our regular money back in December.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Okay. And Sheriff isn't in yet. Want to take a look at the vouchers? We have a few minutes before we take a break. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Mike. Thank you.
With the water well over, that's drilled over at the Manning shop, am I supposed to be, are you heading that up
Well,
or?
we got a meeting at 3 o'clock today after we're done here.
Okay.
Kind of talk about it.
Okay,
If you want to, welcome to come hang out.
where's it at?
It's at the J.E. Dunn trailer over there.
Okay,
On
that's
site.
fine. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I was wondering if
Kind of a gray area right now. We got to figure it out. That's what today's for is
Okay.
who's doing what.
But
Okay.
I would say you should probably
Yeah.
plan on your end of it over here. He had some different ideas for electrical too, so we can.
Okay.
Okay. The JK excavation for the Manning Waterworks, is that listed like as a pay estimate or is?
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
a
that was-
estimate today.
We passed.
Oh, okay.
That one as well.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. You bet.
And if you guys see on the capital projects there from the North Dakota Department of Water Resources for 39,000. So that was that study we did with Southwest Water.
Mm-hmm.
It was estimated like 110, I think is what we approved, but it came in quite a bit under, so it was 39,000 for that one.
A little good news.
Yeah.
Take it.
And then they are calling around to all the wait list customers to see who is interested in hooking up if we do the hydraulic improvements there.
Are they explaining to them that they'll have to cover their?
Yep, they're gonna explain that it'd be on their end to pay for the hookup fees and all that stuff, so they're doing their survey on their end, and they'll get back to us when they get done contacting all those people.
Is there any conversation of, because if it's going to design for 100 people, so is there going to be room for expansion? I mean, like Southwest Water years ago, that's a problem, is it design, it's full, it's full.
I think they told us that what they put in is for what they're planning it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I was gonna get with Luann and try to do a little advertising on our end to get anybody that wants to get them hooked up now or signed up now to where, because they're gonna design for who wants to be.
Well, that's the
hooked up.
problem, and that guy hates to invest the money, but 5, 10 years down the road, somebody else wants to hook up, and then we're in the same boat we are today.
Yeah.
So I don't have a solution, but hopefully the guy can figure something out.
And they just have the engineering end, it's really difficult to,
I get it.
unless you got an area you wanna plan for higher capacity and
Any questions on the vouchers?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Pelton to approve the bills as presented. Any more questions? Roll call vote?
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, motion carries. Okay, why don't we take a 10-minute break and be ready for the bid opening? start with the bid opening on 114th Avenue.
Okay, our first bid this morning is from Edward H. Schwartz Construction. Total all bid items, $1,412,999.36. $1,412,999.36. Our next bid is from Martin Construction Incorporated. Total all bid items, $1,225,877.94. $1,225,877.94. Your next bid is from Bronco Brothers Incorporated. Total all bid items, $1,239,560.50. $1,239,560.50. Next bid is from Libichuk Construction Incorporated. Total all bid items, $1,306,227.49. $1,306,227.49. Your next bid is from Knife River Materials. Total all bid items, $2,088,303.02. $2,088,303.02.
One more.
Your next bid is from Trotter Construction Incorporated. Total all bid items, $1,309,570.13. $1,309,570.13.
Okay, that's all the bids received. So I'd like to thank all the contractors for submitting bids once again. And Jeremy and Riley will get back to us with the recommendation.
Everybody cleared out?
Yeah. What the heck?
Did we say something?
Yeah.
There were a couple pretty close ones
They
there.
were
Yeah.
pretty close.
They were all
Yep.
right in there.
Yep.
That's one thing I like, if you get a good engineer, they ever look at the project all the same.
Mhm.
And these guys were just taking a stab in the dark.
Okay,
Remember.
Sheriff Kuhn, you ready to go over your budget with us? Changes.
Morning.
This is,
Morning.
yeah, there's a
there was a change on there from the original when I sent Sally, so I gave you a copy of it. And I overlooked the overtime section in the salaries because we didn't make any changes to the salaries. That was done by Sally's department, so we just carried it over from last year, at 150,000. So best guess for us, I guess. The only additions, I think everything stayed the same except for the vehicle gas and oil. We added 10,000 to that, just because the prices keep going up and we've been running short on that every year. So trying to keep up with inflation, but you never know what it's going to do from year to year. And then the other addition would have been that Axon camera system that you guys approved a couple months ago. Just a short update on that. We have the body cams operational, the tasers, guys are carrying those, and they're over installing the in-car video camera systems right now. So,
Where does that body cam, where is it attached to them?
it sits right on their vest,
Okay.
right on their chest. So. That's about it. Everything pretty much the same as last year, other than the Axon addition, that contract, and then the increase for the gas and oil.
Okay, any questions for the sheriff? Well, thank you, Gary.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy.
The vehicles on the bottom, just so you know, it's on there, but just to cover it, we're requesting 5 replacement vehicles for next year, so. And the prices are all listed there, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Starting with my planning and zoning. Okay, pretty much everything's the same except I went down a little bit in postage because the postage I sent out is usually paid by the applicant. Office supplies I went down, and my vehicle gas I also went down in my budget on that. And that is on fees. That would be the E911 revenue. On this one, we can under state radio. I did increase that from 90,000 to 100,000. That is because of that siren project that we are working on, and I will be presenting this afternoon another tower for our siren project, and that should be up and running. We're hopefully by next year we'll be on that. But that is the increase because of the siren and the state radio fees and then the siren project. So those are those two because of that project coming up.
Okay.
And then the last one is my 911 coordinator. I did go down in travel because travel isn't as much as it used to be. So everything else is basically the same. I did decrease my travel.
Any questions for Sandy on any of her budgets?
I'm really excited to get us on siren. It's going to be great. And we're getting all those towers built so we can have good coverage throughout Dunn County, and that's what's most important for us and our EMS system.
Thank you. Okay. Done. Sherry's not here yet. That. So, who's after Sherry? Is your budget in here, Sally? Oh, okay. Carolyn, are you able to come forward right now? Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, the budget numbers that I'm requesting are almost exactly the same, other than salary, and Sally takes care of that. But, the rest of the budget is exactly the same as what I requested last year, because for the most part, I was able to stay under budget. So there's room there yet for this year without increasing too much. The only thing I added was an extra $100 under office supplies, because printer ink is $100 a cartridge, and my printer takes 4 cartridges. And I go through about that a year. So that was the only change to my budget. Does anybody have any questions?
I think we can handle the ink.
Yeah, yeah. So, one thing I did want to just very quickly report on, you're probably aware that McKenzie County took over our van services for the VA appointments, and we still do have residents in the county that are receiving van services to their appointments. So McKenzie's County's been doing a good job in meeting the needs, so.
Okay, great. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Which one's first? Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, our budget looks a little bit different this year than what you're used to seeing. Moving towards standardization, I've moved our numbers into the form that all of the other departments in the county has. Usually you'll see ours on a spreadsheet. This is the same spreadsheet, just a little bit different format. In the end, the bottom line is we are asking $109,075, round up the cents, in terms of millage, which will approximately be a little bit more than 1 mil, well within our 4 mil allowance. If you look down on the operational budget, we're following the same procedures that we have in the past in terms of asking for millage and GPT to cover our operational costs. Travel, training, all of those things are the same as last year. The one thing that I want to point out, the 23.5, which is under projects here, these particular dollars are projects to keep us at 1 staff. What we'll do is we take some of those dollars and we give it to the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. She comes once a month, sits in the Ottawashi room, and visits with our local folks who are in the process of starting businesses and building their business. That eliminates us needing to staff that position. Additionally, we give a $5,000 stipend to the museum to help with their staffing issues, if you will, because they're one of our largest tourism entities in the community. And then between the remaining $11,000, we hire a gatekeeper with our website. They do all of the updating that needs to be done, and they write the articles for us, so they take care of that portion, as well as NDSU. When they have programs, we pay scholarships for our local residents to attend. So that's where that 23.5 is. That's to keep us at staffing of 1. So in the end, we're asking for, as I stated, approximately a little over 1 mil, and the remaining $120,000 necessary to do the operational budget will come directly out of GPT. That has been the process for the past 5 years. Now, additionally, on the budget sheet that you see, we are also asking for $450,000 to shore up the housing fund, and $450,000, which is 1.5% of the auditor's estimate of GPT for the Young Producers Grant. I don't want to ask for housing dollars without giving you a quick synopsis. These are very impressive numbers. This is one of the most popular things that we do for the community. And it comes directly from dollars from GPT that you allow this particular fund to have. To date, and I ran these numbers yesterday, 43 new homes have been pushed through our program. 36 are completed, 7 are pending. We're closing on one of those, so that'll move that over to the other budget to complete it. One is closing on the Allen home. We're closing on Friday. So 43 new homes is very impressive in 5 years. This program is now 5 years, and we have houses aging out of it, and we're releasing those temporary liens that we're putting on them. We released the first 2 this month. So from this point forward, moving forward, every month that we closed, we will have liens that we will be releasing and people moving out of the program, which speaks to its success. I think also key to this program through the housing fund, we have added new market value, not taxable value, but new market value, well over $20 million. Those are families, those are people building homes. The average cost on a build, $561,000. Now, that's not to say every house costs that much, but that is the average. You're going to have your high ends and your lower ends. And those are everything from manufacturer/modulars with or without garages to the $900,000 homes. So 500 is pretty much industry standard that we're finding out when people are building homes, stick-built homes in a community. Additionally, we've 71 existing homes and 70 completed sales and 1 pending. So at a time when we've had people moving in and out of our communities, by and large, we've kept people in those houses. Average cost per unit is about $301,000. Again, we have those outliers that cost a lot, like when a house down in New Raddick sells, those are very expensive. When a house in a starter home in Halliday or Kildare sells, sometimes those are closer to $200,000. So average is average. Very successful, 71 existing homes, 70 completed sales, 1 pending, and we'll be closing on that one that's pending on Tuesday of next week. So we are asking for $450,000 for that particular program. That'll bring it back up to the $750,000 that we started with 2 years ago. It's not outside of about every other year we shore that fund up. Hopefully you will be willing to put that amount of dollars from GPT into, not from tax dollars, but from gross production tax into that fund at the beginning of the year. You'll also see $450,000 there for the Young Producers Grant, also a very popular program that we have. Just to give you a quick update, again, this year we had 83 total applicants. 17 were new first-time applicants. Interesting enough, the average age is 27 on those new applicants. They're not 18, some are, but some are people who are applying for the first time and are a little bit older. So based upon that, we had approved last year the same amount as per the auditor's estimate, 450. We only pulled 415 because we didn't have enough applicants to take the full amount, nor did we need to take any extra. This is a program rerun, completely funded through the county commission. So in addition to the other funds that we've requested today, we are hoping that you will put 15% of the auditor's estimate into that particular line item as well. That's a lot of information. Any questions?
Any questions for Carrie? I believe so. Thank you, Carrie,
Thank you.
very much. Okay. That's our time. Sherry, we'll go with you, Sherry, and see Denise is here too.
Did you get hung up in the pilot car?
I did. But the roads look nice. No. I'll wait till everybody gets a budget. Well, good morning. For the record, I'm Sherry Adams, and I'm the Executive Officer for Southwestern District Health Unit, and Denise Brew is your board representative, and she is awesome, so she can never leave. So, just a couple items. The Joint Commission meeting will be August 5th at the Health Unit at 6 p.m. So that is the one where we need a quorum, so at least 3 of your 5. All 5 is welcome, obviously, and the auditor is welcome. Well, it's an open meeting, so actually everybody's welcome. But anyway, hopefully you can show up. I will send a Teams link in case, I know there's several counties that have to call in because they are farming, so they'll call in instead of driving in. But that's a good time to get to know the other commissioners, but also the staff and the updates for what we're doing in local public health. Just one thing before I go into the budget. Just an FYI, Cheyenne, who's been the county nurse, is also going to be leaving. She will be going contract as all. For some reason, that's the 8th nurse since Ruby left. I think one of the challenges is that they get a lot of questions why they're not in the office. And for anybody new, I just want to clarify that local public health, part of the big role of a county nurse is to not be in the office. They go out into the towns, in the counties, into the communities, and into the residents of the homes. So it's a little different model. And so I try to explain to new commissioners as well that what the mill levy goes for, nursing is part, environmental part, emergency is preparedness is part. But it is a different model. We're not like a clinic where the nurse is there every day in the office. So just wanted to educate everybody to let you know. But we will for sure. Cheyenne's going to stay on his contract, so she'll still do some of the outlying county. And then we didn't want you to be shocked by seeing an ad in the paper for a new Dunn County nurse. So hopefully somebody will apply. There's a lot of health units right now that are struggling to get nurses. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. On a really positive note, I guess, I'm holding even the budget one more year. So what that means for the 8 counties is that is $1,575,000, which I think, we'll get the property values about August. They go to the auditors, and then that will either be a little bit of an increase for you or a decrease depending on what your property values do. The reason I'm able to hold even one more year, I know the struggles with the property value and the 3% and all of that. So I've been trying really to be cognizant of that for you guys as counties, as I know there's other costs that come up. And if I can hold even that, at least we'll save that line item. One of the reasons I'm able to do that this year, and I've been able to do it in the last couple of years, is when we had COVID funding, we were able to hire 4 people, with the understanding that if COVID funding goes away, they would be cross-trained in different areas in case something happened with grant funding, and they would be willing to shift into another position. Well, with staff leaving or retiring, and unfortunately we had a staff member pass away, I'm able to absorb some of that current staff into those positions and not hire new people. So that is helping our bottom line just a little bit to not replace positions, but reabsorb those positions into several different people in the health unit. We're able to do that one more year. We're probably at the bottom of the line to be able to do positions like that. And then what happens is most likely we might have to start looking at what programs that we offer to communities that aren't funded and have to go back on those. We really don't want to do that, but with funding cuts at many levels, it will be a challenge. As you're aware, Governor Armstrong has asked for a 10% cut across general dollars for the bigger agencies, and Health and Human Services falls into that line. So if you look on page 1, in the very tiny little writing where it says state aid, and I said it might be less, we're hoping they do not decrease the local public health state aid line item. We get $8 million for 28 health units, and that's our portion. And one of the reasons I try to be cognizant of our counties is that our counties pay a big majority of our budgets, and the state pays like 5%. And so we keep trying to encourage the state to not cut their part of it or to even give us more. We have not been real lucky at that, but we're hoping that doesn't get decreased in the HHS budget right now. They're working on the budget, so hopefully that will not be a loss. If it is, I'll just have to think outside the box and figure out what we will be able to do. It won't change my ask for the counties at this point. The other thing on this page, federal grants are kind of up and down and across. We've been lucky at this point for the 2027 grants going through June of 2027. So far, most of them are hold even, which is a good thing. That helps us. If you look down on that kind of olive colored green, we will be done with our public health infrastructure grant, which is the FIG grant. That helped us do a lot of training for staff and such. The very dark blue line, which you can't read, and I apologize, I didn't realize it was so dark. We were able to get a very small part of the Rural Health Transformation Grant. The grant's been a challenge across the board, and what I mean by challenge is it is Medicaid driven. And so the hope was that we would be able to ask for more funding in different categories for health and your federally qualified health center and Kildare and some other parts at EMS. But it's been a lot more challenging the first year than we had hoped. We're hoping that some more funding will open up that will help certain categories across your county as well as other counties. But right now, it's not been real helpful. We are able to get, it says 80,000, but the final contract was about 75,000. And that is for more outreach into other smaller communities within the counties. Other than that, the only other thing that's kind of a decrease is vaccinations and immunizations are going down nationwide. So we won't get as much money in for immunizations, but if you look on page 2, we won't be buying as many immunizations or vaccines because the decrease in the demand is not there. As a public health person, that's one of the scariest things to me in the fact that we are already seeing more and more types of disease outbreaks. And so we'll follow that. We'll hopefully keep trying to promote vaccinations of preventable diseases. But because of that, that has been a decrease on our cash out. So nothing really else has changed on cash in, not a lot of increases. So we'll, except for losing some of the grants. So if you go to page 2 in our disbursements, I have decreased staff salaries a little bit. There is not an increase right now this year for raises. We'll assess that depending on how things pan out, but right now we're not putting that in there. I'm able to decrease staff salaries because I'm not hiring those positions. And so that will help that line, which also helps our health insurance line item as well. We do know insurance is going up again. It usually goes up about 10 to 15%, but with less people being insured, that also helps that line. Other than that, our disbursements really hasn't changed a lot. It's been pretty level across the last few years. The thing I do worry about is some of the equipment is starting to fail, which you all know how that goes in cycles. So, you know, do we need to replace a vaccine refrigerator? That's possible. We've had 2 air conditioners go out on the building. Of course, they're going out everywhere with this temperature, but we probably will have to go into a little bit of our cash reserve this year, and that will probably get us by. If you go to page 3, if we don't get the projected mill request for 2027, we would be over by a lot. We wouldn't be able to function, to be quite honest. But that kind of shows you what our cash in will be. Will be under about $75,000. One thing I'm also going to assess, and which we all look into, is travel. So you often cut travel or carpool more, or, you know, do some of those things and do more things virtually. So that also saves the bottom line. It's nothing new to counties, it's nothing new to us over the last few years, how you have to look at cutting different things to make things work. The bottom line is we don't want to cut services to our people that we serve in our communities. And so hopefully that won't change in 2027. The last 2 pages usually just go to the auditors. They kind of show why we need the mill levy request. And I'm open to questions.
So just, the difficulty in hiring nurses and keeping them, is that something we should look at for increase in nurse wages?
So because we're a district, what we do for one county, we have to do for all counties. And so I have worked really hard over the last few years to try to increase wages. I don't think it's just specific to Dunn County. I think the challenge is nurses shortage across the whole border. And the other challenge we're going to face is with this Rural Health Transformation Grant, hospitals can do a sign-in bonus for some of these new people, and we can't. That's not possible. And the challenge is too, like if I try to hire a new person at a higher wage than somebody's been working 10 years, that doesn't work either. So I have to be fair to the rest of the staff. So what we've done in the past for this county and a couple other counties is we hire a Stark County nurse that covers Dunn County. What I mean by Stark County, they live in Dickinson and they will commute. We'd rather have somebody more aware to the county, but that seems to be the best way to handle that. Or they will job share. So nurses will, this nurse does work 2 days in this county and they'll work 3 days in that county. So we do some of that as well. The other challenge we're seeing, particularly in the field of nursing and the elderly, is a lot of times the clients are getting a little bit more challenging and needing 2 people to attend. And what I mean by that, and that's not really been a problem in this county, but it has been in a couple other counties. It's more of a safety issue. The nurse doesn't feel like going in there alone because they don't feel safe. And or they're doing a med setup and the family, we want to make sure the nurse isn't questioned that they're doing meds, So we do some of that job sharing as well. So it'll work out. I'm not worried about it. I just like to, and I've said this in all the counties when I've gone to them, is that the health nurse isn't going to be in the office every day because they have to go out to where the clients are. And that's our senior centers and their homes. They do a lot of home visits. And so we'll get through. We always do. So, but I just didn't want you to be shocked if you saw it on Facebook. But Cheyenne will contract, which is good. So she'll still help, and she knows she'll contract in Dunn County at least 1 day a week. To cover those clients she's gotten to know. The other thing with the Rural Health Transformation Grant that we did get, what the grant was for is Public Health Outreach Coordinator. So that person is Lynette Canode. She used to work for the state, but what her job will be is more outreach into the counties, being more of a face for public health. So you'll see a little bit more of that showing up in your counties as well. Just let people know the services we can offer. And we just have to be creative these days, as you know as well, because you're doing the budget and it's different. I don't know, do you have anything to say? Okay, Denise had nothing to say. Denise did help us in Medora, and I know Gary's group was up there in Medora. We worked for a week in Medora with our emergency preparedness team. And we were the lead health and medical, and so we were happy to have her help. The day of the president was coming, and all of the sheriffs, it was very appreciative in one of the other counties. So that was kind of a weird, fun time.
Yeah.
So any other questions?
Questions for Sherry or Denise? Well, thank you, and we'll see you August
5th. We'll try to have more than crackers. No, I'm just kidding.
Water?
It's a potluck, yes. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Jeremy, be back with the bids?
So we went back and tabulated the bids, and the low bid was confirmed to be Martin Construction. We would recommend awarding it to Martin Construction for that 114th Avenue project.
Madam Chairman, I would move that we approve the 114th Avenue bid to Martin Construction.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Heiser to award the 114th Avenue project to Martin Construction. Any questions? I'll do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Dahlstrom?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Okay. Holly, kind of going down the line here. I think State's Attorney Scott Pond here.
Kirsten's back there, too, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was, okay, but yeah, go ahead, Holly.
Okay, well, good morning again. A few changes, really is going to start with the line item 6310, one of our professional fees for complex. There was a slight increase this year, so you see that that went up about $3,600. The commission did approve that commercial co-host class of the $500 budget, so Auditor Whittingham had me add that in. So we have that commercial class training for next year at that $500 pace. You will see that my travel and training in line item 6340, I've taken that down to $2,500. I am subsidizing that with the $6,000 that I get from the cities to do their assessment. So I am their certified assessor for Dunn Center, Halliday, and Dodge. I prefer to use that money so we can access more training opportunities. And I also have to cover expenses for Teresa to get her Class 1 certification next year. So with that $6,000 in this, we will have enough to get her certification and still do all of our regular meetings that allow us to get our continuing education and possibly some online classes too. So our phone, I did increase that a little, so that would allow Teresa to have a hotspot to access some of our GIS information when we are out in the county and access on our tablet if we need to input some information. With that postage, I readjusted this year. Last year, you can see I budgeted $8,200. We are down to $3,000 this year. And that was due to legislation requiring us to send out notifications to everybody in the county for every piece of property that is out there, and the PRC notifications this last year also. Our software companies were very wonderful on consolidating a bunch of those, so I didn't have to send out 9,807 single envelopes. So I can take that down to 3,000 and feel confident that I shouldn't go over budget next year with that, and that includes the postage increase. Dues and memberships stayed the same, much stayed the same down there. Office equipment, there was a little bit of an increase, and that is due to our printer company. I was unaware that we had a copy charge and monthly charges. I'm not quite sure what our budget is going to be. They seem to bill 2 months behind, and my biggest month was in May when I had 9,000 and some papers. Probably 10,000 being printed out, so I'm guesstimating at 1,500 for this year. So that's why that's kind of a jump in an increase there. Other than that, I don't really have anything different. Is there any questions?
So the notices that you sent out this last year, they do not have to go out again?
They do.
Okay.
They do, but with our software company,
Oh, you
they are
consolidate.
able to consolidate it, kind of like our taxes. You can group them by, someone's name
Taxpayer.
or a multi-parcel. Yes, so I can get, up to 20 statements in an envelope on certain places. So, and we just use front and back and utilize the paper so we don't have to get the more supplies. And yes, my supply budget did go over this year, and that was due to the envelopes and things that I did not take into account for that I had to purchase. So next year we should be okay. I did order extra therefore, again, I didn't know how many envelopes I was actually going to have to send out this current year, so I should be okay.
Any questions for Holly? Thank you. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Kirsten. Sorry, I didn't see that you were in the room. Good morning.
Good morning. We have no changes for the upcoming budget or are asking for no extra funds than what we had last year. We felt comfortable with the numbers from last year to continue bringing our programming to Dunn County. So are there any questions on the budget, I guess?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to bring to your guys' attention too that I did build in the stipend again this year that we've been doing, I believe, for the last 5 years. And that is to bring Kirsten and Christy up to the salary that they would be if they worked for the county. So if anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Of course, that could go up and down too, again, depending on what the commission's wishes are for increases for a COLA or.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with Achievement Days and the fair, right? Thanks. Yep. Okay. We're just whipping through these. We did veterans. Do yours.
Or you want to do the weed?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I got all these scratches. I can't even read my own agenda here. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, Commissioners. Not much has changed in the weed control budget. We did keep in the money for grasshopper spray if the weed board would like to do the grasshopper program next year. We haven't did it the last 2 years, but just in case, and they kind of decided that's kind of like a as-need basis. They don't want to offer it every year because it can, affect some of the beneficial insects like bees and stuff like that. So just when there's a big problem, they'd like to offer that to the county residents. I took off vehicle purchase for 2027 as we got a new pickup, 2 new 4-wheelers, a trailer, a side-by-side in the last, a little over a year, but so we're pretty set on equipment. I don't think we will need any new equipment in 2027. Is there any questions?
And Jamie, I was impressed with your weed plan. I was out at my home working, and they were like rat patrols patrolling the road back and forth, up and down, and hunting weeds. And they take their water trailer along with them to be real efficient. So they're doing a great job out there.
Thank you.
Any questions? Well, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, do you want to, I don't have it on the agenda, but will you? I'm not on the agenda. We can, oh, okay. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, come on up, Terrell. And Jamie's here, so.
Well, thank you for having me.
I want to preface by saying I'm not here to take shots at the commission nor the Dunn County Weed Board. But I am very concerned about our weed problem. I appreciate the cost share that we have. I make use of it. I've been a weed warrior all of my adult life, and I'm afraid we're losing a battle. I live in the mountain region. I've been pretty much zeroed in on Canada thistle, wormwood, and leafy spurge. Lately, I've just identified another one, and it's been around for a long time. I just can't identify weeds by looking at a picture. Hound's tongue is everywhere. It's terrible. I'm afraid we're losing our battle of our grasslands. I think, yeah, I'm concerned about it. You know, well, we're all aware that there is a state law that we must control our noxious weeds. Absolutely has no teeth. If your neighbor has a bunch of noxious weeds, you can report that neighbor to get them sprayed, or then the county comes out and sprayed them. What chaos would that be in our county if I report my neighbor to the weed board to get out there and spray the weeds? Gary would have to double his force in order to prevent the riots that would cause. So I don't like to, I'm an advocate of least amount of government that we can have, but I think some of the state and federal agencies have to get involved a little bit more here. I'm talking about BIA, MHA, Army Corps of Engineers, State Game and Fish, all of the farm and ranch organizations that I belong to have resolutions, control noxious weeds. What's done about it? Absolutely nothing. It's a resolution that just gets passed from year to year. So I guess, and I'm real reluctant to say this, is there a chance, and probably there's already something in the works, whereas county, you have a state county commissioners organization, is that right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. And I don't know if it ever gets discussed at these meetings, noxious weeds. I sure hope it does. But I think if it can be discussed, to get the agencies that I just mentioned involved with this, and yeah, it's going to cost more money. We've hired drones to spray our noxious weeds the last few years, very expensive. And we're in wooded, rough area. My spray rig is a 4-wheeler and a 25-gallon tank and a hand sprayer and a couple other jugs of spray. And yeah, I've tipped it over quite a few times by cut banks and everything. But yeah, the ones I can't get to, I'm with my hand sprayer down in the draws in the wooded areas. And frankly, I'm getting a little too old for that kind of entertainment. So, you know, we need help, I think. I'm pretty passionate about it because I don't want to see our grasslands turn to weeds. And everybody's priority is different. I realize that. But we have to get unified here to get ahead of this problem. And like I say, I'm not here to take shots at you folks or with Jamie, because you're doing the best you can with what you have. But it's going to need more help. Comments, questions?
So this could be something that I'd be glad to bring up to the North Dakota Association of County Commissioners. I'm on that board, and the Association of Counties too. I'm wondering where the Department of Agriculture, you know, if any request has been made for more, more funding, you know.
Well, that would be another agency that I didn't mention, I mentioned. Unfortunately, our ranch is a neighbor to the Game and Fish Department, and I'm on them all the time. They're negligent about their weeds. Where as far as my sprayer reaches, I'll kill their weeds, but yeah, they have 9 sections of land out there, all rough, so it's a challenge.
A lot of these government agencies like the Corps and ILO,
Yeah.
we have a hard time getting them to spray. They're some of the worst weed spots we have. I mean, we don't have much control, but they're government agencies.
Well, and that's why they need to be involved with our problem, I guess, yeah.
I mean, we've been trying and it's tough.
Yeah. No, I understand it's a struggle, but yeah, there's no other comments. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we can get something going on this. But Jamie, I appreciate your work. You're doing a great job, so.
Thank you,
Okay.
Gerald. Appreciate it. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks a lot. Where are we?
Good morning, Commissioners and Chairman Dalzell.
Good morning.
I'm going to start with the recorder budget. Okay, my total budget for expenses has increased $7,300. And I increased my telephone expense a little bit. If you look at the year-to-date total, that is incorrect. It says that I'm at 201%. That's actually should be split between the clerk of court and the recorder's office. So about $800, but I increased it $200 to $1,000. At the direction of the county auditor, Sally Whittingham, I increased postage because postage has gone up. And we do an extensive amount of mailing in the recorder's office. So that is up slightly. Services and tech support, that is up a little bit. You can see last year I spent almost $11,000 and I only budgeted $8,000. This year I have $12,000 in there. I have an extensive amount of technology in both the recorder's office and the clerk of court's office. For example, I wrote down the numbers here. I have 13 computers, 7 desk scanners, 4 copiers, 3 printers, and 2 large format scanners. And that doesn't include my specialized label maker for my document labels. So I do have a bit of, I do have a few service contracts in order to make sure that all my equipment stays serviceable and in running order. I increased office supplies, $1,000. Paper has gone up this year. And that's another item that we use extensively in both offices. And I do, because our land professionals print off a lot of copies, I do order different types of paper. I order a lower grade for them to print off of because we don't need high quality paper. So, but paper has gone up. The rest of my budget for the recorder's office has remained the same. You can see I was under budget last year. I did not use all of my, only used about 18,000 of the 40,000 that I have budgeted for microfilming and bookbinding, and that will vary year to year. This year I will likely use more than I did last year. That's to preserve my books, digitize records, which is the primary function of the recorder's office, is to preserve land records. And in your public folders under the 2026 July meeting folder, I did put my receipt totals for the recorder's office in there. We have collected a little over $114,000 in the recorder's office for receipts so far. Do you have any questions on the recorder's budget?
So like under postage, to date, it's, $574. And, I mean, will that be sort of end of the year prorated out from the postage machine? Is that how that
Mhm.
works? That's why it's low right now, but you're
Right.
still asking for more.
Yeah, and I never know.
Yeah.
We don't charge postage, we don't pass that on to the consumer postage. And I just received a document in the mail that I have to return and it's 30-some dollars to mail it back. So you just never know what that's going to be, but we do have to mail things out. Postage has gone up extensively. Moving on to the clerk budget. That budget I increased by $2,000. I just want to go over real quick the figures that we receive from the Supreme Court Administrator's Office. For the 25, for our current biennium, excuse me, we receive $247,800 a year in contract payments to perform district court services from the state of North Dakota. During this biennium, they estimated that we need 1.56 FTEs in order to run the clerk's office. That is grossly understated. You could not do it with 1.5 people. For the 2027 through the 2029 biennium, which kicks in August 1st of 2027, we will receive $228,468 in payments from the Supreme Court to perform district court services. So that's down a little bit because they believe, based on our caseload, that we only need 1.23 full-time employees to run the clerk's office, which is grossly understated. They do figure out our contract payments. It's a combination of our wages in the clerk's office and benefits and caseload. They have a formula, which they have yet to share with me, but they figure that out. And I did put case stats in your folder year to date, and we are slightly down, but it does give you a projected total at the end of that report if you'd like to look at that. So for my expenses, I increased phone just a little bit. The line item for some reason wasn't on there, but Sally and I fixed that. So I estimated about $1,000. I did increase postage. We do mail out a lot of jury questionnaires and trial attendance letters. And for example, I have several big trials coming up, and I just sent out a mailing, and it was about $350 in postage because of what I have to mail to everybody. So postage is high. I did decrease services and tech support because most of that is in the recorder's office. I don't need as much in the clerk's office. Most of our stuff is electronic. And office supplies, I increased that because paper is on the rise. Do you have any questions for me on the clerk's budget? Our payments, our contract payments more than cover our budget in the clerk's office. Granted, my salary, half of my salary is not in there. We have never, because I'm elected, we have chosen in years gone by to keep my salary in the recorder's office.
Any questions for Lisa? Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Will is here.
Good morning, Commission. Madam Chair. I'm going to start with the Park Board budget, if that's okay with everyone. At the direction of the Park Board, we presented our budget, small increase. It is kind of an interesting year for the Little Mo campground. Obviously, without water, you're seeing a different year as far as expenditures and maintenance down there. We're in a year where we're spending very, very little amount of money down there just because it's not being used. We're not getting as many campers down there. So this is a snapshot in time. You know, our busy expenditures and things for that budget will probably happen towards the end of this month into August, September. We'll start to see a lot more of our bills come in, invoices paid. So right now, the 6% of usage to our budget is kind of a misnomer a little bit about where we're actually going to be. We've got projects to be done yet, and I expect that to be somewhere around 40% towards the end of August. So just to give you an idea where we're probably going to be. And like I said, we have not spent money down at that area for a reason. That's just a decision that the park board has made at this point. But is there any questions on the budget that they present to you? Anything I can answer? So, okay.
It's not, thank you for that.
Okay. Next one, we can go to custodian budget. This is where we house the salaries for the my department. There was no change other than a small bump in the vehicle fuel and maintenance cost. Obviously, trying to take into consideration how much fuel is going to be next year. So I bumped that up to 2,000, and everything else remains the same. And then there was the bump for salaries that Sally handles. So, any questions on that?
Questions?
Okay. And then the last one is the actual building and grounds budget. Made some small adjustments there just to cover increased costs in utilities, electrical, propane, things like that. There is one area I'd like to call to your attention. It kind of stands out. I believe it's in the, there was under the maintenance budget for the sign shop. It's labeled Patterson Building. I should actually get that changed to the sign shop, but I spent 634% of my maintenance budget. Basically, that is to show you that when we had that electrical line shortage to that shop, the $33,000 that it costs for garage door operators and openers. And the reason I'm calling your attention to that is because we have to account for those things to a certain degree. And so, I want that to be known that we try and dial in our utility costs, what it costs for janitorial service supplies and things like that. But maintenance is one of those things that we're going to have instances like this, and we're still sitting at 56% of the budget. Okay. The goal is not to spend all the budget, but it's to definitely house areas where if we have problems, if we have acts of God or nature, that we can still act within our budget. So just wanted to call your attention to that. And then obviously the grand total where it has 481% of the budget spent, that's actually 57%. So just wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page with you. That I think the 200% threw off the formula on the Excel sheet. So any questions as far as building and grounds or any of the other budgets that I presented?
It kind of looks like we've got a handle on, the new buildings, what it costs for utilities and, upkeep and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we've got it pretty well dialed in on the utilities. I mean, obviously that's guesswork the first couple years, and then you kind of adjust it. And I think we're dialed in. The thing that we're now facing is what we spent and what we're seeing with utilities. We get that dialed in, but now we've got buildings that are aging. The road department shop in Manning has seen considerable amount of work on boilers and things like that because it's approaching that 10-year-old building, and you're going to have those types of things increase, and we've tried to adjust for that as well. So.
If you look at let's pick out the holiday shop, for electricity and propane, really $2,000 a month for that big building, that's not really the worst.
No. Yep.
Didn't put a line item in for the PSC center.
No, I haven't been on the ball on that yet. I think that's something that, as that building continues to be built in progress, that is something that we'll have to get situated. I'll be honest with you, it's not something that I've put much thought into. It's kind of one of those things when those buildings come online, I know that there's going to be extra costs and things, and I probably should get with the auditors and start building a line item for that and a specific budget for that building. So
When is the completion date next?
September 27, yeah.
Well, that was with everything. I think PSE was like June of next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
was, so we'll have 6
Yes,
months
we're
of
gonna have
utilities in there.
So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
work with 6 months of,
yeah, 100% reasonable. That would be a good thing to do. And so, yeah, we'll get with that and then we'll adjust it and, you know, present it to you guys if that works.
We'll present that at the next meeting. That way we can still stay within our century code.
Okay.
You have kind of an idea what it takes to run this building. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot, so.
I think that if any building, you know, we can probably draw some data from the new Kilder headquarters shop because of the office section and the shop portion. I think that's probably a pretty good comparable for what we're looking at. Yep, yep. I think those numbers from there we can probably, it doesn't necessarily have to be quite the same, but I think that we can do some guesswork and get close. So, yes. Okay, anything else?
thank you.
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Oh, are you able to do yours now? Yep, perfect.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So with the, my overall budget for 2027, what I was requesting, when the budget's taken into consideration that there hasn't been an increase in our workload for the office that undertook, including increase in level of offenses, criminal trials and felony charges. We have a lot more rise in search warrants and investigations, and some of which have still pending and will come to light this year, increase in some motions and a lot of different trial preparation responses and related to just the criminal aspect and criminal cases. There's also been an increase in some civil related matters issues, including but not limited to the civil complaints that we've received, and we were dealing with open records requests and other county related potential possible litigations surrounding those issues. Also, there's been an increase in matters relating to, and we do anticipate an increase in planning and zoning and addressing those issues, and just anticipating there might be some litigation surrounding any possible possibility of those. The additional duties also that with the staff has undertook this year with some of the different things in prosecutor software and learning that and training, and with also some other administrative duties dealing with some of the trial, upcoming trials, and also those are, you know, cases that were conflict cases, which aren't really taken in consideration, but my office still does the work on that. Overall, the budget is projecting where the resources are necessary, and the total requested is less than last year. This office is pretty much utilized, and in the past 4 years, at least when I've been in office, there have been, we haven't utilized our full budget. The office is cutting back on certain line items where additional funds may not be needed to maintain the office. And we're basically moving the funds where we feel that they're more necessary. We're taking into consideration that our financial status of the county. We've restructured the budget to optimize our resources. We're also taking into consideration the cost of living for our county residents and keeping our county residents employed with Dunn County. So with that in mind, just if there's any questions or anything as far as where you see we have done that.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Mr. Marion's, he's part of the salary line on this one then?
He is, yes.
So this is Amy, Grace, Mr. Merriman, and yourself.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
so we finished. Thanks, what do you want to do?
So next is on me.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Hit
so
it,
the
Sally.
first budget I'm going to present today is the IT coordinator. Really, there are no changes in that. We kept professional fees the same, just in case there's any other required classes. Mike has finished the 3 that we required him to have, but as AI and cybersecurity keep kind of developing, I left that in there so he could take more classes. Travel training, again, the same. Phone. Dues and membership, he has joined a couple of different groups that kind of keep him apprised of all the new AI, cybersecurity, all of that election security that's going on. So I budgeted $500 for him in that group. Office supplies, we went down. He's finding it doesn't really need that many. That may go down again next year. Uniforms left the same, miscellaneous, and then office equipment is the same. So the only thing that really increased on that is that salary section. And that again, for all of them across the board, we just did the 6% for now. You guys can always go down, as you need, but any questions on that one?
I don't believe so.
All right, the next one I will be presenting is the auditor treasurer budget. And on this one, I want permission to add an extra $5,000 in our salaries. And that is due to a lot of the times Mike, Jenny, or James will go to meetings and help present if meetings are recorded, like the planning and zoning meetings and stuff that we've had, if they're needed for communications for anything. I'd like to just add that extra in there for a little bit of OT if they have it, because they have been helping with public events. It's still cheaper than hiring any more people. It's likely that we won't use all of it, but I just like it in there in case we do need it. As far as that goes on professional fees, we were sending the tax statements out to another company, but we've decided just to do that in-house. So professional fees have gone down from $2,200 to $500. We still do the ACA reporting for payroll. Out-of-house travel, I took from $2,500 down to $750. I don't think we're going to have a lot of travel next year. The phone may go, I raised it up from last year. We had 600. I raised it to 1,000, but I might take that back down. But I just wanted to leave it in there just in case. Sometimes one of my staff members on a Friday after work or on a weekend will use their phone for, again, like different events, or if you have to, we have positive pay with both of our banks, and they may need to accept the checks and things that are in there, ACHs. Postage, that is a huge one. In 2025, we spent roughly $9,000. This year I budgeted $6,500, which I am going to say I'm going to go over and need to amend that line. Postage will be increasing, I believe it is in September, to 94 cents per letter. And we have to send out our budget hearing notices. We have to send out our tax statements. We have to send out late notices. And then we also have to send out our, sorry, I'm drawing a blank, our delinquent taxes. And those all have to be certified. And right now, those are approximately $12 a piece to send out. So I raised that up. Hopefully we won't need it all. That's my goal. Office supplies, I'm going to keep exactly the same. Next year, we might be able to go down. We do buy all of the paper and a lot of other supplies for the, most of the people in our area. It's just cheaper to do that than have them buy a box of pens and us buy the same box of pens. It doesn't make any sense, so. Uniforms, we all decided that we have enough shirts and stuff, so we are going to not budget anything for that line item. And then office equipment, I stayed the same. So really the only thing that has increased in our budget is postage and salaries. Do you guys have any questions on that one, or?
I don't believe so.
All righty. The next one is Board of Commissioners. Again, did this 6% on the salaries, travel, telephone, dues and memberships. We just kind of left everything the same. No increases on that one, really. Do you guys have any questions on that one? Okay.
So I guess just under travel, in 25, it was a little over 25,000. And of course, this year not being a legislative year and we're.
Yeah, I think it'll be
10.
under.
So I'm wondering if with 27, if, you know, because it's a legislative year,
Go
we
up.
should bump that up
Maybe
to
to
25.
25.
And I know you've got one commissioner that's never turned travel in.
Yeah,
So maybe you get somebody new in there. You're gonna-
yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
I would-
Okay.
I would increase that to
Increase that
25,
one.
just so it's
Okay.
covered.
Yep, I can do that. Especially with the price of fuel and stuff, we don't know where that's.
Oh, with the
gonna be,
session
so-
coming in too, people might
Yep.
have to go testify.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
It seems like that every other year, you know. we have-
Yeah, we need to increase it. It'll go up and down, kind of.
Okay.
Okay, then we have the coroner. Let's see. His travel has gone up a little bit. He was at 750 this year. He's spent 975 for, I believe he's been to 2 conferences, so I bumped that up to 1,000 for next year. Phone, we're pretty much right on track, so that'll stay the same. Office supplies will stay the same. That's something much like travel for you guys. It kind of goes up and down depending on when he needs to buy us supplies. Vehicle gas and oil, we kind of had him low this year. We only budgeted 5,000, but he's already at 5,000. So next year I bumped that up to 10,000 just because the price of fuel. Coroner calls, he was at 8,000 this year. He's been at 3,200 is what he has turned in. So I just kind of left him roughly the same at 7,000. That's one of those things we're just never going to know. Same with the autopsy. We'll always leave that. Coroner equipment, I left that. We kind of went down to 2,000. Again, the coroner equipment is one of those things we're just not going to know what he's going to need from call to call or year to year, basically. So it's good to have it in there, whether we use it or not. Last year, he came in under budget, and this year, if he goes over it all, it will be for for gas, but I think he's still going to come in under.
How old's his vehicle? I mean, is he going to be looking at changing vehicles pretty soon?
We just got him one 2 years ago,
Yeah.
so he's good. Yep. And then he got a new radio, so that's good. So I just put 750 in his radio line item just for incidentals, and we did go over it, and he's okay with the budget as it is. So. Oh, that was, yeah, that's old. So the last one, nope, I still have a couple more. The The last department one I have for you guys is the superintendent of schools. We had been budgeting travel and training because we were having meetings after the holiday school disillusion, reorganizing some things, but that has seemed to really kind of gone away. So I took that out of the budget. Dues and memberships, 250. We always have that one. We've got one more to pay this year. And then the miscellaneous, that's always for spelling bees and math bees and things like that we help the school with. So that one actually went down. It was 3250 last year, and we went down to 2750 on that one.
That's good.
Okay, so now for the general fund, capital projects, and the rest of the county budget. All right, so do you guys want to do you want to do the capital projects first, or just go through the budget,
Yeah,
working
just-
budget?
Just go through it, I
Okay.
guess.
All righty, so the first thing that I wanted to bring up is this year when we had our audit, our auditors believed that we should not be levying for any general taxes, general fund taxes. That again, I told them I would let you guys know, bring it up to you, see how you felt about it. We are going to be taking our bottom line down quite a bit from this year. I know I sent out our balances to you guys a couple of times, kind of estimating where I think we'll be. So I don't know if you guys want to do that or not. There is also with that, if we decide, or you guys decide to take them to zero, the following year, you can take them up to where you think they need to be. There doesn't have to be any election or anything. So if you take them to zero, something happens with the oil and gas money, the following year, you could take that up to 30 mils if you wanted to. But you can only do that once. And you can, so if we decide not to do it, we leave it at the general mills at zero this year, next year, whatever. When you decide that the county needs it and you want to bring them up, you can do that one time.
So the 3% cap would not apply to that?
No.
Okay.
No. Yep. Yeah, and most of our budget, we're lucky because of the GPT dollars. Most of our budget, the 3% cap doesn't apply to, so. So that just something to think about as we move forward. Other than that, delinquent, mobile home, all the taxes pretty much will stay the same. Beer and liquor licenses will stay the same. Other permits and building permits I got with Sandy. So as far as revenue, we're up a little bit on that, not much, like $3,000. Oil and gas production, as you guys know, is still kind of up and down. It's in its ebb and flow right now. So I left that the same as this year. 32 million is what I'm kind of projecting that we'll get in. Overall, indirect costs for social services, I think that's going to go down a little bit. So we're not too much different in our total government revenue from last year. I think we're going to be right about the same as we were this year. Charge for services, I think, let's see, I've left those the same as they were last year. So again, charge for services, I think will be under about 40,000 that we were from this year, but not much for revenue. Miscellaneous revenue, we're going to be kind of right on. So I'm thinking just maybe $1 million short next year for revenues for the general fund than we were last year. As far as expenditures, I haven't finished filling that one out all the way because we were going over those today as far as our budget. So I will complete that and send a revised copy out to you guys, but I don't see that we're going to increase much in our expenditures either. Group insurance, I think that may go up from last year because we've traded some, employees have left. We've got some new employees. So I kind of added the new employees that we have so far this year, taken out all the ones that have left. I think the group insurance, we may be looking at 200,000 more, I don't think, even with the 9.7% increase. Building permits, talking with Sandy, we think that'll go up a little bit. Life insurance should stay the same. Workers' comp, it went up a lot last year, so this year I just pretty much budgeted the same. Unemployment is also an ebb and flow. You never know what that's going to be, so we left that at 30,000. EPA Village, that's a professional service that we pay through for the Human Resources Office. Employees can use that. It is for, anything from counseling to investments, things like that. So you can do a lot of things with that. Audit fees, they're not going up. Telephone, just some increases in their rates. So we went up a little bit, $2,500. Printing and publishing, we haven't really used a lot. We've gone down, so I took it from 18,000 to 12,000 this year. Postage should only be, once we get all of the postage transferred, because how it works is on the postage machine in the mailroom, it is covered by the general fund, and then every quarter we take those, what each department has used and transfer that to their department. So that should be roughly 1,000. Association dues, those are all the same. Tech support actually went down, so that is good. Mike's been helping a lot with that, so that's gone down. Computer replacement, we're going to leave the same. Programming and software went from 240 down to 175, and that's because we are done with all the expensive one-time purchases of Tyler and TaxWise, so that's a good thing. Miscellaneous hardware, that is for if a camera, we need to replace the camera on the building or any incidentals for IT, that's what that one is for. Miscellaneous is anything that we use if we need to, say we need to buy a washer and dryer for the county trailer or something like that. That's what we use the miscellaneous for. Longevity, because we've had some people leave, even though we've had some new employees come on, that will not increase much at all. Housing authority, I left the same. We may not use that much again. In that one, we may be down. Contributions line, that is where, as Carrie was talking, we would take the Young Producers grant, any meals that you guys contribute to, like Vision West, or like this last year, we used that line item for the 250th celebration. Those meals and things that we purchased, it would also be used for like when we contributed to the lunch at the golf scramble. So that one we left the same as last year. And dependent on how many young producers applications we get, that'll be what we spend out of there. So we really have only gone up in that $20,000 from last year. So that's pretty good. And again, the total government, that'll go up once I plug in the other numbers for like, I think I had the state's attorney and the custodian line I needed to add in there still, but I think it might come under indirect cost for social services. That is what we use for the county vehicles. I believe they still have 2 or 3 of them. We buy the new, like if they need a new windshield, if they need new tires, oil changes, things like that, since we own the vehicles. So that's where that comes out of. Public safety, the only increase on that has just been due to salaries and a couple of the different items, like Gary was saying today, the new body cam system and things like that. So that's that increase. As far as transfers this year, we did 25 million into road. Next year, I have projected to do a $40 million transfer to road. Social Security and PERS, that pretty much is staying the same. Any increases there is just because the increase of PERS for the retirement. Roosevelt Custer, they're the same again this year, 11,450. Planning and zoning and JDA, they went up a little, again, due to salaries, no really increases in there. The Fair Board, we always give them 1 mil. That is in century code. And then insurance, no increases this year, so that was nice. So that'll stay the same. And then rather than doing a bunch of transfers this year, each year we get state aid. And we got roughly, we're going to get about 820,000. Let me look at that back page. 825,000. So rather than transferring at the end of the year to like emergency manager, soil conservation, the park board, airport, the veterans, I chose to take that out of state aid. So the only real transfers we'll have this year is the JDA project development, and then transfer to the building fund. And then I don't know if this is something you guys want to do, but I put maybe to transfer another 25,000 into the cemetery repairs. I know Sandy might speak on that a little bit later.
She's going to ask for about 30 today.
Yes, because we,
So I don't know if you want to up that.
yeah, maybe I could up that and we could just transfer out of there. So I will do that to 30,000 then. So roughly, I believe for total expenditures, we're going to come in right about where we did last year. Again, I will have better numbers for you once I plug in the department budgets that were presented today. So we should end the general fund next year at a balance of 26 million. Then as far as the road, nothing will change much in there. Little bit on the revenues. Bankhead Jones is one of those things. We get paid for federal lands, and that'll go up and down every year too. So I might have underestimated the revenue on that, but I'd rather underestimate than over. Other than that, everything will stay about the same. So we'll get roughly the same revenue. Highway expenditures, we have 42 million from last year, 45 from this year for road project salaries, such as that. So they'll end 2027 with roughly 17.5 million. Then the senior citizens account, that is all reimbursed from the state. And this year we are going to add, I am helping the roundup, and we're going to add some, maybe some stuff for them that they could use for the senior citizen part. We're going to kind of get it a little, not pre-approved, but make sure we're doing it right. So that might go up or down. But again, that doesn't affect the county at all. That is stuff that we get reimbursed through the state. The correctional center, again, sometimes that's depending on how many how many bad guys I guess we have that year, or how many people are in jail, custody of prisoners. That one's kind of a little hard to estimate, but by the time we get done with our mill levies will end up with the same amount that we did last year. So they'll end roughly with 150,000 in that account.
So Sally, with the Southwest Correction Center, yesterday we had a board meeting and they went with a 2.5% increase for salaries. And yeah, so, and then I guess I should say the women's prison, they're working on a mission for it being a low-risk offender men's prison, but that wouldn't be till the very end of 27 at the earliest. So, but yeah, we went back and forth, but I just wanted the board to be aware that I don't know if we'll have to, put more money in to cover some of the cost of the increases there. And everything goes up. Food
Right.
costs.
Okay. And then the County Park Board, we just approved their budget today, so, or preliminary budget. So unless you guys make changes, that will roughly stay the same as last year. Veterans Service Officer, same thing. County Agent, again, they'll stay the same. Weed Control, no real changes in there. Airport Authority, we do the same every year. So for the state aid, I will transfer 200,000 in state aid. They can do 4 mills, but they've been only doing 2, so we kind of help with that budget. That way it's a relief for our taxpayers, and the airport still gets to function roughly on their 4 mills. So emergency manager services, Sarah's, that's roughly going to stay the same. So the next big one is the capital projects. I know we talked a little bit today about federal mineral monies. I put as for this year, since it's the working budget, I kind of took out any revenues for this year. And I mean, so we may get some, but just in case, I wanted to take those out. So next year, I'm projecting we'll get about 8 million in federal mineral royalties. So as far as revenue goes, in other projects, I budgeted 350,000. We may want to use some of that for furniture. We will not for the sheriff or the public service center, emergency manager, sheriff's corridor. They'll all go over there. I do not think we'll spend the 350,000. Sheriff vehicles, I did add those in there. County vehicles, we don't need any, so I didn't budget for any. County building projects, I got with Dunn and JLG. So for this year, they're expecting to spend 13.5 million. And then so next year, I just did the 9 million. It's a little bit over, I know, what we had budgeted, but I just kind of wanted, just in case there was something that was supposed to be this year that didn't get until next year. So roughly went there. Non-departmental projects, we always have things like that. And again, that could be replacing like the cameras outside or within the building, or if somebody needs, I don't know, new furniture or something for their department. Nonprofit contributions, that is, I budgeted 5 million this year. That is for if the airport comes, or we have a city come, just different things like that. Killdeer ambulance, I budgeted the 500,000 again. Dunn County Water Resource, the 750 for their projects. Sunrise Youth Bureau and Domestic Violence Center, we always do 1/3 of a mil for them, or we have in the past. I know that you guys are changing some things on the weed shop extension. I did leave that, but we can change that, play with it however you guys want. the JDA housing that Carrie was talking about earlier, to bring that to its full 750, I budgeted 450. Shooting range, I budgeted 50 because I believe we still do like part of the utilities and things like that. Okay, so I put
So,
50.
you know, like when we do that, we were gonna 50% that parking lot, that can happen this year?
That would be this year. That was a nice
So I don't know if
project.
that 50.
Would that be 2027? We can move some of that weed shop.
I'm just curious, because, you know, we
extension.
said that there was kind of an estimate, I remember what that estimate was, you know, of the parking lot at the, I don't know if 50 will cover that.
I can, I'll find out, I'll ask Matt, and
Yeah,
then
Matt would know.
maybe I can move some from the weed shop extension into that line.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Thank you. How about the Halliday ambulance? Are we gonna have to pencil some of that in?
I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, still working on
Um,
an
yeah,
agreement, but there maybe should be.
We could
But
do
then
that.
We're gonna have to, they're gonna come to us.
Would you guys like me to, I can make a line item for that too, for holiday, and how much would you guys like me to?
What are they looking for, a new ambulance or just help, or?
They're changing how they're running things.
So, because in the last biennium, the legislators made it so that rural fire and ambulance could not be together. They had to be their own entities. So they did, at the election, they did pass so that they do get some mills, but basically they're starting from scratch. So they have no funds. Yeah, no reserves, no funds, so.
Madam Chairman, are they going to, where they're gonna be hiring people that killed her? Or are they gonna be working under?
Yeah, so that's, you know, working with the contract, we had one draft from the attorney. The commission agreed to cover the contract, the attorney fees, to work on basically a management agreement and employee arrangement with Kildare Ambulance. So the employees for Halliday Ambulance would work under management of the Kildare Ambulance.
How they pay them?
Yeah, all the costs, it would still be the Halliday Ambulance District and Halliday Ambulance, but all the costs associated with running that would fall under the management of the Kildare Ambulance. So the 15 mills may not be enough to support, you know, paying, you know, payroll for the 24/7 coverage. And so it still hasn't been worked out, that cost, but we should probably, I don't know, like maybe 200,000.
I think we need to budget something for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as a placeholder for now, maybe.
Okay. We'll do that. Okay. And then the food pantry, I know you guys went ahead and we're going to do the $2,000 a month still for help with utilities and stuff. I did add a little extra in there because you guys always contribute to something for them throughout the year. So I figured I would have that in there as a placeholder. So I budgeted $35,000 for them. And then the last big one, and again, this is just something for you guys to think about, the school bond relief. We won't have Kildare in this year, so in the budget, I worked in 2.5 million, and that would actually give the other schools a little bit more than what they have been getting. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you want to go up or down?
Is it based on students in Dunn that attend, must be
Yeah.
some type of a formula?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a formula, percentage based on how many kids attend. So like how many Dunn County kids go to Dickinson or Beulah or.
I don't think it would hurt to keep supporting them.
Oh, I agree, just, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the percentage is.
I would,
Yeah.
I would even consider like a 3 million there,
Okay,
go up a little bit. I don't feel we can do the 5 just because we're not getting federal mineral money like we used to, so.
I will do 3 million in that one. So that will bring us down to, and we may have more depending on how, like I said, how the new building project goes, what we pay this year and what we pay next.
Yeah.
roughly 11.5 million, but we may have in the 2027 with a little bit more. And you guys can always, after the next meeting, you can always kind of move things around still. Just really not go up in expenditures, but you can always move things around. So and I will send out a revised copy for you guys this afternoon, so you kind of have, or probably more like probably tomorrow or Friday, but give me a little bit of time to, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. I do want to let you guys know I will not be here at the next meeting. I will be out, but Jenny, I will go over everything with her. So if you guys have any changes that you want, again, they don't have to be done right away, but she can make those changes and we can discuss those. So if you guys have any other questions, any changes that you might think of between now and then, please just email and call me and I'll make sure I make those changes for you.
When do we need to have the budget approved by?
The preliminary budget by the next meeting, by August 5th, yes, because August 10th is the cutoff. We still, even though we don't send out estimated statements anymore, August 10th is still the cutoff for expenditures. And then we send out, at the end of the month, we still have to send out budget hearing notices. So that way for our final budget, and that will be the first meeting in October. We'll have our final budget hearing. So you guys have a while. And, again, if you approve the budget at, say, the salaries, for example, you approve those at 6%, but you decide that in December you want to go down a little bit due to inflation cost or whatever, you can still do that.
So are we using all the, or is the Water Resource Board using all the 750,000? And that's
Sandy has that information right there.
Yeah. Oh, well, good timing, yeah.
So Commissioner Olson can help me out with this, but yes, they have been using that 750,000. It has been a very popular program. And what's nice about this program versus the old program is the old program only could be used in that watershed portion of the county. This can be used countywide. And yes, they are using that. I did talk to Shasta, I think it was last month, and they're still okay with money, but they'll be coming back here coming this fall for that, for the additional money.
Okay.
And that is built into the capital projects. And then the rest of their budget, I built into the state aid money. So we won't have to transfer any money to them. Just as we get state aid payments monthly, then we disperse them to the different funds or entities.
So like right now, the budget shows there was no money spent for that 750,000. That'll be worked out at.
Yes.
Because we haven't sent that payment out. We wait until they request it and then we send it out.
I believe last year it was September, so I'm looking forward to that. And then also, we did budget it, like she said, for operations 50,000. I'm not sure if we're going to need that. Currently, we have about 51,000 in our checking account, which will be fine. So we may not need that 50,000, but we do want to have it just in case something comes up. But as you can see, we've been fortunate. We've sent Mary Massett as our representative to these meetings they've been having for the Upper Missouri Water one, and I believe she's at one this week too. That's why we changed the meeting to next week. Yeah, so that's been really good. We've had representation there, and they're really a very active board. So we'll need approval for this too.
You send the right person.
Yes.
Mary's all about
Yes.
water.
Yeah, there is one coming up in September too. I'm in South Dakota, so I'm hoping that the board will choose to send her as our representative for that too.
Thank you, Sandy.
Any questions on this?
No, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just had one more thing for you guys too. Desi and I have been looking at the projected numbers for COLA or inflation. Right now, they're at 4%. We just went to a auditor treasurer conference last week, and most counties that were there are doing 3% for COLA. Some are doing 3% plus their step or merit. I don't have those actual numbers yet, but 3% seems to be the magic number across the state this year, as far as counties go.
And Tracy, you said that the jail board get a, was it 2.5? Was that just COLA or was that just a wage or how? What?
Just COLA.
Just COLA?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the finances, you know, of the jail, you only get so much reimbursement. Prisoner counts are down, which is good, but that means less money for the jail. They're not filled up to capacity. So the board felt they couldn't afford more than that. He's scrambling to do this, you know.
How many mills are we levying now for the general fund?
5, is it, or just under 5?
Just under 5. Like last year, I think, I want to say we were seated in, let me take a look here. We were seated in about 500,000 this year.
That's why I hate going to zero, because when you climb, it's gonna look way worse. I mean, 5 ain't very much.
But if you do go to zero and you do need to climb, you have the capacity to do it.
Yeah,
And
then you
if
gotta
they
make-
get a couple of years of zero, it makes up for
Yeah,
that
but they don't
bigger
look
jump
at
at the
that.
end.
All they look at is the increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only, if we stay at the, I think it's like 4.83 or something mils, if we stay at that and something does happen to the oil, we can only go up 3% from that. So that's the only caveat to
So
that.
you're better off
If we-
going to zero.
If we stay there, we can't go to the 30.
No, you have to go to zero to be able to go up. That's the only problem with that.
Valley View Mill is what?
I am not sure yet.
Close to 100.
Close to 100,000 right now, so, yep.
I think
I'm
waiting on the pipeline values.
Yeah. Centrally assessed, and Holly said we'll probably get that by beginning of next week, so I'll be able to let you guys know for sure, but.
Last year about 97.
Oh, it was 99.7 something, so I'm estimating a little over 100,000 per mil value.
Egg-land values went down a little bit,
Yes.
so, yeah. But I'd say you're pretty close.
So if we, so right now they brought in 500,000, easy math. If we
Mhm.
could raise it 3%, you can only bring in $15,000 then.
Mhm.
That's all you can raise it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we need cash because oil tanks,
Yeah.
15 grand ain't gonna make or break it.
No,
No.
no.
You're better off going to zero and try to hold it for a few years at
Mhm.
zero to,
Well, and not only that, it's really state law. You know, you can only have so much in your reserves with, you know, and be able to levy, so. I think we better go with the advice of the auditor,
I think it's
auditors. I mean,
Right.
Rath and Mayer.
Yeah, Rath
what
and
they
Mayor,
said.
they're the ones that strongly suggested we go to zero.
They got a sharp ruler.
Yeah, they do.
Well, and they have to answer to the
Yeah.
state auditor as well, you know.
Yes.
Big difference is being able to go to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
If we have to.
You stay at 5 and you can't move, but
yeah,
it's,
Yeah.
I think we should go to zero
Mm-hmm.
to try to hold it there for as long as we
Hold
can, you
it.
know?
Do we need a vote on, or maybe next meeting?
it'll just come in with your budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next meeting,
Okay.
and we could do a motion.
Because
on
we
it.
can always, because that's a revenue, so we can
Mhm.
always go down with that one.
That's a better option too, then you could have the chance to update it, go up and
Yep.
more. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Okay. Is that all of the ones you're taking care of? right
Yes,
now?
I think that was it for now, you guys. And again, if you have any questions about these or suggestions that maybe you think of later, just,
Let me call you on vacation. No.
yes, yes, you can. I'll have my phone.
We'll be on speed dial during our
Yeah,
meeting.
I might be sitting on the beach, but.
Well, I think probably the best thing, and, now we can take time to look over
Yeah,
these budgets a little
yeah.
bit more and
Make any
get a
s-
hold of you
yeah.
before the next
Yep.
meeting. And
We can make any changes.
I just hope that our time change ain't so bad that we ain't calling you at 2 o'clock.
Anybody have any portfolio reports to bring forward? I guess Southwest correction, I kind of spoke on that, so.
Housing Authority's got a meeting till 5.
We do have lunch in the break room for you guys.
Somebody asked me too this morning, I haven't been over to the public safety, how are they coming over there?
They're
Meeting there,
pouring-
3 o'clock or something.
3 o'clock today, but yeah, they're pouring foundation walls and things are
I
happening.
see they're backfilling, so they must have something to backfill over there.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
Yeah, they're hard
Yeah,
at it.
Looks like it's moving.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. The fair, I thought, went well. It's awfully hot. They had to shut things down right after noon on Sunday. It was just so hot.
Ooh.
So, but the meal went over good, and,
What do we have for, do you have a number?
well, they had thought 650, but I
650.
don't know if it was quite that much.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people
Yeah.
there. I heard good comments on the
Awesome.
food.
yeah, really good
They
comments.
did a really good job.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of leftovers. So, but yeah, it was really good, I
That's
thought.
better, tell people you gotta go find somewhere to eat.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'd rather have that any day.
The bunkhouse, is that the same one, that little rest, or that,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, they did a great job.
It was, with them and then kind of the C-store, Western Choice,
Okay,
because they, the same owners, but
oh, sure.
between the two of them, they got it done. It was really good.
That's a big task to feed 650 people.
Mhm.
Like Greg said, not run out.
Yeah, it was good. Well, I think,
And then we weren't giving them just a little bit to try and get by, or
no,
If anybody left hungry,
Yeah.
yeah,
they left there hungry, it was their own fault.
yep, yep.
so do we have to adjourn and then open back
Oh,
up for the
we just
meeting? or how-
recess for
Recess.
lunch.
Recess,
Just
okay.
recess.
Recess for, did you have anything? Oh, I thought maybe you thought of something else. No,
He's waiting for the lunch call.
okay,
Just waiting for the lunch bell.
all right. So we'll recess until 1:30, which is the posted time for the wind energy ordinance amendments. Okay.